In 1922, one of the most important archaeological discoveries in history was made deep in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. Hidden beneath layers of sand and stone was the tomb of a young pharaoh named Tutankhamun. At the time, very few people knew much about him. He was not considered one of Egypt's greatest rulers, and many historians believed his tomb had probably already been lost or destroyed centuries earlier. Most royal tombs in Egypt had been looted long before modern archaeologists arrived. But this tomb was different. When British archaeologist Howard Carter finally opened the burial chamber, he discovered something almost unbelievable. The rooms were filled with gold, statues, jewelry, ceremonial objects, furniture, weapons, and thousands of artifacts that had remained hidden for more than 3,000 years. The discovery immediately attracted worldwide attention. Newspapers across Europe and America published stories about the Boy King and the treasures found inside his tomb. For many people, it felt like a scene from a movie. But this was real history. To understand why the tomb was so important, it helps to understand how ancient Egyptians viewed death. In ancient Egypt, people believed that life continued after death. They believed the soul needed the body in the afterlife, which is why preserving the dead became extremely important. This belief led to the practice of mummification. The bodies of kings, queens, and wealthy individuals were carefully preserved using oils, linen wrappings, and religious rituals. Pharaohs were buried with items they might need in the next life, including food, clothing, furniture, jewelry, weapons, and religious objects. The richer and more powerful the ruler, the more elaborate the tomb became. Because of the wealth stored inside royal tombs, grave robbing became a serious problem even in ancient times. Many tombs were broken into and emptied centuries before archaeologists ever discovered them. That is one reason why Tutankhamun's tomb caused such excitement. Unlike most royal burials, much of the tomb remained intact. Tutankhamun became pharaoh at a very young age, likely around 9 years old. He ruled during the 14th century BCE, a complicated period in Egyptian history. His father is believed by many historians to have been Akhenaten, a pharaoh known for introducing major religious changes. Akhenaten attempted to replace Egypt's traditional gods with the worship of a single deity called Aten. The changes created political and religious instability across Egypt. After becoming king, Tutankhamun reversed many of those decisions and restored traditional Egyptian religious practices. Even though he ruled for only a short time, this helped stabilize the kingdom after years of disruption. Tutankhamun died young, probably around the age of 18 or 19. For many years, historians debated how he died. Some believed he may have been murdered, while others suspected illness or injury. Modern scientific studies suggest he likely suffered from several health problems and may have had difficulty walking. Despite his relatively short reign, Tutankhamun eventually became the most famous pharaoh in the world, because his tomb survived largely untouched. Before the discovery, the Valley of the Kings had already been explored for decades. Archaeologists had uncovered many royal tombs, and most experts believed there was little left to find. But Howard Carter disagreed. Carter believed the tomb of Tutankhamun still existed somewhere beneath the desert floor. With financial support from George Herbert, 5th Earl of Carnarvon, he spent years searching the valley. The work was exhausting and expensive. Season after season passed without major success. Eventually, Carnarvon reportedly considered ending the project because of the lack of results. Carter convinced him to fund one final excavation season. In November 1922, workers uncovered a staircase buried beneath debris and old worker huts. The steps led downward to a sealed doorway marked with royal seals. Carter immediately realized the discovery could be extremely important. For the first time, there was real evidence that a royal tomb might still be hidden underground. The moment the tomb was opened became one of the most famous scenes in archaeological history. After carefully clearing the entrance, Carter made a small hole in the sealed doorway and looked inside using a candle. At first, he could barely see anything through the darkness. Then shapes slowly appeared in the dim light. There were golden statues, carved furniture, chariots, boxes, and treasures stacked throughout the chamber. When Carnarvon asked Carter if he could see anything, Carter reportedly replied, "Yes, wonderful things." Inside the tomb, archaeologists found thousands of objects that had remained hidden for more than 3,000 years. Many were beautifully preserved because the sealed chambers protected them from the outside environment. The discovery became international news almost immediately. The tomb contained over 5,000 artifacts. Among the discoveries were gold jewelry, thrones, beds, weapons, ceremonial objects, statues, clothing, chariots, decorative furniture, and religious items. Every object provided valuable information about ancient Egyptian culture and royal life. One of the most famous discoveries was Tutankhamun's golden funerary mask. The mask covered the head and shoulders of the mummy and was made primarily from gold, with detailed decorations using colored glass and precious materials. Today, it is considered one of the greatest masterpieces of ancient Egyptian art. Compared to the tombs of some more powerful pharaohs, Tutankhamun's tomb was actually relatively small. Many historians believe this may be because the young king died unexpectedly, leaving little time to prepare a larger burial site. Even so, the tomb was packed with valuable objects, carefully arranged for the afterlife. At the center of the burial chamber stood several large shrines surrounding stone sarcophagi and nested coffins. Inside the innermost coffin rested the mummy of Tutankhamun himself. Because the tomb survived in such good condition, archaeologists gained an unprecedented look at ancient Egyptian burial practices. No other royal tomb had preserved so much information so completely. Shortly after the discovery, rumors began spreading about a supposed curse connected to the tomb. The story became especially popular after the death of George Herbert, 5th Earl of Carnarvon in 1923, only months after the tomb was opened. Carnarvon died from an infection caused by a mosquito bite, but newspapers quickly linked his death to the curse of the pharaoh. Stories claimed that anyone who disturbed Tutankhamun's tomb would suffer terrible consequences. Sensational headlines turned the curse into a worldwide phenomenon. Every illness or death connected to the excavation was treated as evidence of supernatural punishment. In reality, most historians believe the curse stories were heavily exaggerated by the media. Many members of the excavation team lived long lives, including Howard Carter himself. Still, the legend of the curse became one of the most famous myths in modern archaeology and helped increase public fascination with ancient Egypt. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb provided enormous scientific value. Researchers were able to study ancient Egyptian art, religion, medicine, craftsmanship, and burial traditions in extraordinary detail. Modern technology later allowed scientists to learn even more. CT scans and DNA testing helped researchers study Tutankhamun's health and family background. Evidence suggested he may have suffered from bone disorders and other medical conditions. Several walking canes found inside the tomb supported the idea that he may have had mobility problems. These discoveries helped historians see Tutankhamun not just as a legendary pharaoh, but as a real human being who lived thousands of years ago. The discovery of the tomb sparked worldwide interest in ancient Egypt during the 1920s. Egyptian-inspired fashion, jewelry, architecture, and art became extremely popular in Europe and America. This cultural trend became known as Egyptomania. Museums organized exhibitions featuring Egyptian artifacts, attracting huge crowds. Books, documentaries, and films about ancient Egypt became increasingly popular as well. Even today, the fascination continues. Tutankhamun's tomb remains one of the most recognized archaeological discoveries in history because it connects modern people directly to an ancient civilization that still feels mysterious and impressive. More than 100 years after its discovery, Tutankhamun's tomb continues to influence archaeology and popular culture. Part of its importance comes from the incredible condition of the artifacts. Another reason is the emotional impact of seeing objects that belong to someone who lived over 3,000 years ago. The tomb makes ancient history feel real and personal. The furniture, jewelry, clothing, and everyday objects remind us that ancient Egyptians were people with beliefs, traditions, fears, and ambitions, just like modern societies. The discovery also proved how much history can still remain hidden beneath the ground, waiting to be uncovered. Even today, archaeologists continue searching Egypt for new tombs and forgotten structures. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb remains one of the greatest archaeological achievements in modern history. Hidden beneath the sands of Egypt for more than 3,000 years, the tomb preserved an extraordinary collection of artifacts that revealed the sophistication and wealth of ancient Egyptian civilization. From the famous golden mask to the thousands of objects buried alongside the young pharaoh, the discovery provided historians with invaluable knowledge about one of the world's greatest ancient cultures. At the same time, the myths surrounding the curse of the tomb captured the imagination of millions of people around the world.